Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Turks. Today, I have the founder, Tayo, of Utivia. And Utivia is a one-stop shop for everything digital. And so, Tayo, can you just elaborate more on what you mean by a one-stop shop?
Yeah, sure. So what we're looking to achieve with Utivia is to create an opportunity for Africans, regardless of, economic background, location, and also education, to access premium technology education. So we consider ourselves, a one-stop shop for everything technology education, from data to products to AI to design to programming to cybersecurity to digital marketing. We built relationship with 25 universities, throughout 2018, and we thought that we were doing
well. Were these federal universities or private ones? Which ones were they? Were they the federal?
No, government universities.
Okay.
Government universities, the federal universities, yeah. So we had relationship, with all the schools, but things were quite very slow, and there was no right business model for the university market. We're not sure exactly who was going to pay for the value we're going to offer them, which was premium technology education. Would the students pay? It looked like no. Would the parent pay? Would the school pay? And we couldn't figure that out. So we left the university in 2019, and we started trading, post-university, folks that wanted to learn technology education. So we started with data, then we moved to product. Interestingly, we built the largest data school in Nigeria. We built the largest product school.
So when you say data school, what do you mean? Could you just hone in on that? When you say data school, data is very broad. Okay? Yeah. So which specific area data?
We built data around 4 different learning areas, right? So people come to learn data incubator, where they learn SQL and advanced Excel. Then there's a data accelerator where you learn SQL and Power BI. Then there's another data program where you learn big data with Python. There's another one where you now start to play your hands around machine learning and all that.
That's a great story. I understand why, because when I went to your website, I saw that you're trying to train people so they can be also global employees as well. So trying to just give them that same opportunity that you had, which I can understand. Now, just take me. So supposing this is me, I'm going to go on vacation for the next 1 week. I'm somewhere, and I said, you know what, I want to learn Power BI. I want to be a data analyst, right? What's the process? I'm not coming to your school. What do I have to do?
Yeah, so the first process is, now you've decided the course to do. The next thing is you decide the path. You want to do it on your own, then we deliver the nucleus to you. Do you want to come to a live class? The live classes run on weekends, right? So typically the live classes run on an average of 2 months. You join classes like this. Students actually like that. They prefer that, because it creates an environment for them to interact and build relationship and all that, right? So that runs over the weekends. Now, what we have built in our program is the fact that you have to go through a bunch of different assignments and all that, then submit a capstone project. So you enroll for our junior data analytics program. You have to complete series of assignments. Then when you complete the entire learning program, you have to submit a capstone project. The capstone project is usually like too complex, project that it helps you to immerse into the business environment of what you've learned. And when you submit the capstone project, we move you into the next phase, which is the virtual internship. We call that the Virternship. And what we have done with the Virternship is to build relationship with companies and create real life projects, with them. So it's a co-creation model where we sit down with them and say, hey, what project have you guys worked on? Then we build the model of that project, or we just put that project online. So our students come in that virtual environment. They solve multiple virtual, business cases. Sometimes the projects are actually real projects.
Okay.
So we've got some tech companies that are saying, we don't mind giving them the real project we're working on. We could also tap into their brain and, learn from them. So that depends on the program. That usually happens in our design school. And what we have seen with the virtual internship is that it helps create a path to new jobs. Because now employers that are working with us, about 90 of them, can use that as a basis for hiring, and that takes away the discrimination in the workplace, because someone that is in the rural community that completes the virtual internship can actually be hired by a Flutterwave. If Flutterwave commits, if Paystack commits to hiring with that model, So the virtual internship, I'll give you an example of Susan, a young lady that's actually based in the North, now works with a health company in the US, completed a virtual internship after the design program. And the company just looked at the virtual internship. They looked at the outcome of the designs, that Susan worked on, and they said, what, we're going to hire this young lady. So that's what the experience looks like for us. We are not there yet in terms of, scaling this entire learning model. We just got a partnership with National Youth Service Corps.
Okay.
They want to partner with us to use our device to scale, and help recent graduates to learn. Yeah. And we're hoping that we can leverage on that.
How do you convince people to become teachers? How do you convince people to even come onto your first course? Who are your first students? How did you create awareness? How do you create trust? Those are the kind of things that want to hear how you did it, so they can even replicate it if they want to start with it. What was the path?
Yeah, the interesting thing is that when I was moving back to Nigeria, I had some cash, but I exhausted them and I got, burnt out. So I met another very, a nice angel investor that was happy to give another $10,000. And I made up my mind that that was going to be the last money I was going to raise until I become profitable. Last year we did about $850,000 revenue. This year we're on track to about $500,000 in terms of revenue. And we haven't raised any funds. We've built Utivia based on, being revenue based. We built Utivia majorly as a revenue based company. We want to raise funds, when we know that we've figured out the business model, but it is a very tough journey, because you have to, make the money and put the money back into the business, upfront.
One of the topical issues are, diversity especially in the tech space. You have, we're trying to get more women, more gender diversity, so that they can play a role in, solutions. Because if you have a solution-based approach that is just men doing it, and you have a population of 50-50, then you don't get a holistic input into design, whether it's design from a US perspective or data analytics. Correct. But if I see a set of data that is based on female activities, your guess is as good as mine. Especially if I don't have a team that is diverse. So, how is Utivia helping to try and bring more women, entice more women to come into this field and, be part of the future? Because digital is the future.
So two things that we have done well. Number one is the gender-focused coaching program that we launched.
And by the way, I actually was impressed with your website, because I actually saw more women than men. So which says that you are being deliberate in balancing the visual communication.
Yeah, it's quite very fascinating and interesting that even at Utivia we have more women faculty than men.
That's how you're doing it.
Yeah, women are more patient when it comes to training, and they are not as demanding as the men. Men kind of have lots of responsibilities, and they're asking you to pay more. But women they just want to do it for free every time. So we usually have one of the women that trains our data program is Eyitayo Ogunmola. She works with one of the biggest banks in Nigeria, and she trains data every time. She never misses class. She wants to do it. Sometimes we have not paid her. It's Tayo, sure, I understand. The type of women that we have within the faculty are kind of very understanding, amazing, and they also understand that we are building. We are at the building stage.
The final question. This time next year, where do you see Utivia? What's the next step? What's the next? How are you going to change? For example, how are you going to help change the educational curriculum in Nigeria, so that becomes part of the curriculum, and then you can play a bigger role, in determining the future of our younger Nigerians?
We've done a bunch of different trainings here and there, but we are living training. We want to provide technology as an infrastructure for every other person that does training, and that's what we want to do. We've done training, we've seen how training works, we understand the pedagogy. And we just thought that, okay, let us build a technology infrastructure that helps everyone out there that does training, to accelerate, what they do and also globalize their successes.
Rita, thank you very much this has been a very enlightening conversation.
Thank you.
Yes, and we'll continue the conversation offline.